Greetings. Hey, welcome to Faulkner Fixes All. We're going to start this video of me working on the other Suburban, but I thought I'd just give you the history of Schwinn Suburbans as I know it. There's probably a few things missed here and there, but I thought I'd just break it down. The Schwinn Suburban was the mainstay of college life, even though it wasn't named the co-ed or the collegiate. You know, the Suburban was the mule. It was the brute force of the Schwinn lineup. And, if I was going to rent bikes for a living, I would have a bunch of Schwinn Suburbans. Anyway, probably 5 speeds. It was like the workhorse of Schwinn. Anyway, 1970 to 1980. So let's break down some of the features along those years. I may have missed something, but I may have not. Okay, so in 1970, the Schwinn came out with the Suburban, and it was in Sierra Brown, black, campus green, and all on sky blue. So in 1970, the Schwinn Suburban came out, and it was in Sierra Brown, black, campus green, and sky blue. And all of those 1970s all had gold pinstripes on the fenders instead of this white or the black. Apparently that was the only year. So in 71, and this one's a much sought after one in any Schwinn bikes, 71 was basically one of the only years you could get a white Schwinn. And all of those had a black head badge. On the Suburbans especially, for sure. Whenever when I'm looking through old bikes and it's a white Schwinn, it's usually a 71, and it's almost always has the black head badge. I don't have one to show you, but it's reverse. It's white letters with black background. I don't have one to show you because people covet them so much. Anyway, there's only 71. In 71, you could get a Sierra Brown, campus green, burgundy, and white. And by the way, a burgundy Suburban is also kind of a rare one. Okay, so in 72, give me a second. Somebody's using their car vacuum out here. Those pesky neighbors. Someone's using their car vacuum. It's kind of messing with my flow here. In 72, you could get a Suburban in Sierra Brown, campus green, and burgundy. Like I say, burgundy was only a 2-year color. In 73, now, there's a problem in 72 for me anyway. This particular bike, we call it Bluey. The date code on the serial number is December of 72. And you couldn't get an opaque blue bike in 72, but it was December. So did they send one early to the Schwinn dealers? Probably. That's usually what people always tell me. Opaque blue, it wasn't out in 72. Did they send it? Well, yeah, they sent it early because this is stamped. This is stamped MH. Can't really make it out, but it is, which is December of 72. So this Suburban should not exist. Yeah. It's not that rare. Only a couple years only, really. 73 and 74. But this one's dated 72. And it's one of our favorite bikes. We've had it a long time. Along the years, I changed out the front wheel for some reason to an alloy one. Notice it has the small, round, sexy reflector. Not the big, hideous thing like there. Okay, so 72, yeah. Sierra Brown, campus green, and burgundy. 73, Sierra Brown, campus green, and opaque blue. And 74, opaque blue, chestnut, and lime. 74 was the first year for chestnut. Don't confuse it with later ones that are spicy chestnut. Okay, so this is just a normal chestnut from 75. So in 75, sky blue, lime green, and chestnut. So chestnut was 3 years. 76 Suburban, sky blue, chestnut, and black. So chestnut was only available 74, 5, and 6. And don't confuse it with the spicy chestnut, which came later. I believe you could get one later. Let's see. Let's keep going down the list. Okay, so in 77, everything changed on the drivetrain. On the drivetrain, it all went to front freewheel system, which is, some people like it, some people don't. It's basically the freewheels in the front here. The back is a fixed gear, and the freewheel's right here. It didn't do well for maintenance and durability, and that's where I would cut the line off if I was going to rent bikes and do stuff, and you had your fleet of Suburbans. They'd all be 76 and below. That's just the way I am. So front freewheel system, and they, in 77, you could get the chrome piece on the fork. I believe 77 through 80, you could get this piece. What this bent fork is doing out here, we'll let you know in just a moment. Okay, so in 77, you could get the chrome piece and the fork trim. And the colors were sky blue and black. 78 is kind of a mystery to me. Sky blue and chestnut, maybe. But the thing is, I keep looking in the catalog, and maybe it was one of those years that had the colors at the very end of the catalog in little squares. They did that sometimes. They didn't list a lot of the colors with the bikes for 78. I'm just guessing. The ones that are on there look like sky blue and chestnut, but it's not listed anywhere as chestnut. So I'm saying 3 years only. That's just me. Maybe you got a catalog where you can read the colors. Or maybe, you know, there's a lot of people smarter than me. I'm sure they can chime in. Okay, so 78 was kind of a wash. They didn't have a lot of colors listed. And it was still front freewheel system. In 79, you could get a burgundy mist and frosty blue Suburban. And those were definitely 1 year off colors. 79 was a 1 year off color scheme. Good luck finding frosty blue and burgundy mist. I'm sure they're out there. They're 1 year only bikes. If you've got one, hold on to it. It may even have the reverse emblem, like it has the emblem with frosty blue letters, and I don't know. I mean, maybe they had a special emblem. I think they did. And then in 80, you could get a spicy chestnut. Okay, it's not chestnut. It's spicy chestnut. That was the Suburban for 1980. And that was the very last year of the Suburban, was 1980. And I believe in 77 to 80, like I said earlier, you could get this little chrome piece. You get this little piece. And this is an extremely bent fork. I don't know if you can see this. I think this came off of one of my Super Sports. It had some, well, let's just say, it had some issues. Straightable? Maybe. Are we going to salvage that piece of chrome? Yes. Okay, so that's the story on the 1970s to 1980 Suburbans. They're great bikes. They're heavy. As you can see, this one doesn't have the chrome piece there. They were the workhorse bikes of Schwinn. They did have 10 speeds. I do have another one in the basement. It is opaque blue. It is a 10-speed, and it has black fenders, pinstriping. And I think that one is a 75. I'd have to look at it. It's too small for me. It's a small frame. It is a Suburban. It's in great shape. The little star on the chain guard is black, and the pinstripes are black. It's too small, but it is a 10-speed, and I just saved it because, I don't know, it's a Suburban, and it was in good shape. Anyway, yeah, let's get on this. Let me shut this video off and get ready to explain what is going on today. We got a big one. Man, we got lucky. We found in my supplies, we found a very good rear chestnut fender. It's dusty, and it's drilled for girls' bike, but we don't care. We do not care. It's in great shape. The stays aren't rusty. It was stored well. And it's the wrong year because it only has one hole for the reflector. But that's good because we're going to ditch this silly stuff. Anyway, look how rusty that is. And it's rusty there. There's rust there. It's not very shiny. But this one will clean up very nice. What a find. It was just up there in the fender rack, and I got really lucky. I don't know what I'm going to do with this front one. Maybe just polish it up and change the front stay, which we do have a better one of that. And we're also going to change, well, no, I'm not going to give it away. You'll just have to stay tuned. See you in a minute. All right, we're back. Okay, so I want to run a front center pull brake on this. I would really like to, but the fork only sticks out a little bit. I don't feel like machining this part down. I will if I have to, but I don't feel like it. It weakens it. It takes the chrome off. There is another way to gain a thread or two. It's using this system, which I like a lot better anyway. It keeps the dirt out for what happens to my bikes. They're not stored in a vacuum chamber. Jay Leno doesn't come over and polish them. It's just me. So this, from what I understand, I've measured it many times. This gives you like another thread and a half, 2 threads. It's a more compact system. You wouldn't think it is, but it is. It is more compact than this system. If you took calipers and measured the top where it pounds into the top there, this is actually thinner. Not much, not by much. So if it doesn't work, at least we have the top race and adjuster that I like to use. So it probably won't work. It probably won't give me the thread I need. Anyway, so let's pound this off and put it on here, even though it's incorrect, because it's my bike. And I center peened this area, kind of like a little repair, because this one was so worn it was slopping back and forth. But this one was a little tighter and thinner, which might give us what we need. That's another thread right there. And so this one's kind of less damaged. So let's pound that on once we get the chrome on. Let's put you on the stand here. Isn't this fun? We're modifying Schwinn Suburbans as we go. You know, anyway, if I was selling this bike, I'd probably just replace the fork with a replacement chrome one, and I wouldn't put, different parts on. People get all excited about that. Let's see if we can get this off. Sometimes you can just grab them, and sometimes you got to pop them a little with something. And like I say, this fork is completely hammered. I might be able to straighten it, but why? I've got another one on the bike. That's fine. And the fork that this belongs to, the frame is damaged, and it's a girl's frame, and wumpty wump. Okay, so that came off. It's a nice little piece, and we'll sacrilege, use the chrome steel wool. A little sacrilege there. Okay, looks like it's ready to go on. Hopefully, we're kind of mismatching these parts up a little bit. And, it's my bike. I can do what I want, right? Okay, and maybe that'll even kick the race up a little bit more. Oops. Away from this damaged area that was rubbed off. With this on here, this may kick the race up to where those little serrated lines are a little bit, and it might help it just a wee bit. So let's go get the adjustable wrench. And we'll give it a good whacking. And we already tested that. That's good. I know it does work with Schwinn. Oops, doesn't work on that one, but it will work with Schwinn. We tested it. It's good. All right, so we put that on. And hopefully it takes a fair amount of effort to get this on now. The race isn't as chewed out as that one. And I center peened around it. And we have this chrome piece on it. So it was kind of like a dual action, hope it works repair, you know? Almost. A dual action, hope it works. Oh yeah, that's on there. Let's see. Can you see daylight in there? I think that chrome piece kind of helped it go up to the area that's not ruined. Yeah, that's good. We did good. Let's give it another little whammy here. Not great for the race, but it's on. Okay, you're supposed to press those in a press, by the way. I have a press, I just not set up to do it. And it would take hours, but we could do it. It looks pretty good. I don't see any daylight in there. Okay, so this chrome piece did shoot that up a little, and then the extra piece, the older, different piece that was from a different year Schwinn, didn't have as much damage. So this is tight now. I'm happy with that. All right. Let's put some grease in the bottom cone. Oh, we got to pound out this other cone. What am I doing, Wilford? Okay, we got to pound this top cone out. And then we're going to pound this other cone in. Choppity chop. Get your pound tool ready. You guys ready? Okay, it's going to go flying across the shop as usual. Fender went flying. Okay, there it is. And this is still a good Schwinn cone. We'll save that. There's nothing wrong with that. All right, let's pop the cone I want. Well, it's not a cone. Let's pop this race in that I want. And we're going over to this style, which would hopefully, this will give me a thread or two to put the center pull adapter on. We will see. I'm not sure about that. I don't really know. I don't see daylight. That is good. Seeing daylight is never good. You can also tell by the sound, you know. That's in there. Okay, so now we're going to put some grease in the bottom cone, shove the fork up in, put my adjuster, my top, the style I like, and then we're going to dig around in my stuff down here. I have a center pull adapter, and we'll see. I might be able to use it without the washer. Look at how that rubbed. Look at that from somebody having the brake cable on the wrong side. Oh, idiots. Idiots. You're supposed to ruin the frame over here. That's where it's supposed to be. The cable goes here, rubs against the frame. Now it has two spots on it. Oh, come on. Okay, let's put some grease in this lower cone while we're messing around. I did clean this earlier. It looks pretty clean in there. That's clean. Hope you enjoyed your history of the Schwinn Suburban. 5-speed or 10-speed, and after 76, starting in 77, it was front freewheel system only. And I think it was 10-speed only. I'll have to check on that. I think I was off on that. I think it was 10-speed only after that, because I don't think there is a front freewheel system 5-speed. I'll have to check on that and get back to you guys. Yeah. Okay. And we're going to grease this other cup because it's reversed now. It's a weird one. We got to grease this now. That's nice and clean. And hopefully my little shoddy center punch repair and chrome piece have repaired that fork good enough that it doesn't do bad things. Okay, so there's that bearing. Obviously it goes out. And that's that. You can kind of rub some around in there just to make sure. Okay, that's ready to go. And this is the bearing we're using on the bottom. It's a nice one. I'll just give it a little sprucing up with some grease. All right, let's pop it in there. The grease should hold it firmly in place. Okay. Just wiping some excess around on there. Okay, now that my hands are completely greasy. Yeah, Schwinn Suburban, man, you can't go wrong with these things. They're heavy, but they are just about bulletproof. Until they went to the front freewheel system. Then, well, I have my own issues with that, with those years. Okay, so we have changed. We have made this a little thinner. But it probably went back up anyway because of the repair, because of the chrome piece, to shove it up onto the good areas. But this is exactly the same, but this system should give us the needed clearance for the front freewheel, front freewheel system, for the center pull system. And we will see. Maybe not. Maybe it's not enough. Looks better already with that chrome on there. Chrome won't get you home, but it sure looks good. Well, that's tight. Oh, come on now. Hey, sorry about that. Little stepbrother was trying to give me a call and interrupt my video. Yeah, sometimes you just gotta do the right thing. Okay, so it looks like, unbelievably, I think we're gonna have enough room, even for the washer if we want. I think that this gave us enough room using this different system. And that's probably why you see bikes with the center pull system. With this, bikes that have center pull brakes usually have this, and that's probably why Schwinn didn't want to spend lots of money on making a couple more threads on the fork when that adds up, you know, when you make 1 million bikes. Anyway, so that tubing cost adds up. So here's a bracket, and I could probably even get away with running a washer. That's enough threads. I bet we can put a washer and the securing bolt on there. I think we're going to be okay. And there's this cheapy little black one too that's a little thinner. This diameter is a little thinner, this thickness. But I don't really like that black one. It's a little close. They made it really cheap. And it's a little closer to the frame. And that may throw the geometry of the cable off. And it's just cheaper and thinner, and you know, this is thick for a reason, because you're pulling on the brake and stuff. You don't want that to flex too much. Okay, so it looks like we're happening for center pull brakes. I know I've got a set of front center pulls, and I can probably even find the adapter in the back here. There's a little adapter that goes on a standard Schwinn pinch bolt. I don't have any bikes around with it, but anyway, it goes on like there's a chrome piece like that, and then there's a longer bolt, and it spreads it out and holds the cable, and so you can have center pull in the rear. I don't think I'm gonna quite go that distance though. Center pull in the rear doesn't really do it for me. Center pull in the front, 70% of your braking power is now center pull. That does it for me. Okay, so we did good. We knocked out the old cone. If I could find a washer, we could actually button this part up. That would be nice. Anyway, we are going to run the 10-speed smaller gear, and this will give us a slightly lower gear. This is just from a 10-speed. Obviously, it's not the right one. this would be the right one of these, but it was damaged so bad I'm not going to use it. And a friend of mine is looking for a mag sprocket with this knurly line in it, but it has to be a mag. If anybody out there has one, let me know. The later bikes, like in the, I think the Collegiate and Breezes had them in the 70s, and it was a mag sprocket. I don't have one handy. It was like a Stingray style. Well, it is a Stingray style, and it has these little knurly marks in it. If anybody has the mag style with those knurly marks, let me know, because it's knurly, dude. Okay, so I think let's try to button this up. Then we can deal with this fender. We definitely are going to use this other fender I found. And yeah, let's try to button this up. Give me a second. Let me find that. So I'm not digging through my tools and stuff. I know you guys love that. Okay. I'll see you in 1 second. Okay. Rookie mistake. I forgot the shifter. Oh, dude. No washer. And it may not even work. I'm hoping there's enough threads. Oh, there's about 4.5 threads showing. Man, that is tight. I'm hoping that's enough. Well, I can take it for a ride and see if it loosens up. Yeah, that's tight. That's close. My options are mount the shifter on the bar. Thumb shifter, not an option. It's a 5-speed. It's got to have the paddle shifter. Machine this. Dig into that hardcore on the lathe. That's option 2. And that would give me the threads I need. Or just go with the side pull. Yet to be determined. I don't like how there's only 4 or 5 threads. Let's count how many threads. Let's do the right thing. Oh man, all that work. And we can't use center pull. There's just not enough on the fork, you know? It's just not enough. Yeah. Well. We'll try the little black thin one. Let's try that. Where's that little piece of junk at? Yeah, this is thinner. Okay, so what do we got? We got 4 threads. Take this off. This nice, beautiful Schwinn shiny chrome, yummy. And we'll put this one on. This crappy, thin black one. And maybe 5 threads now. Actually, seems like it's less. Maybe the curve of this is kicking it up a little bit. Yeah, that's actually interfering. Okay, well, you know what, folks? It does not look like I'm going to be able to use center pull brakes. It looks like the shifter is going on, and we should probably put the washer on there and then this. That's how it's meant to be, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to find a washer, and we're going to make it right. Well, we tried. The threads on the fork are just not enough. I have a chrome fork I could use, but why? We got this chestnut one here that's, you know, it's supposed to be with the bike. I think we're just going to go with side pull. It was a nice thought, and we tried. We gave it a shot. There's just not enough threads. Schwinn, they were into making lots of bikes at once. And like I was talking about this Suburban, this was stamped and made in December of, I believe it was 71. Let's see when that was made. Yeah, that was December of 72, when opaque blue wasn't even available yet. So Schwinn was, you know, they were rolling. And these cranks are dated 74. So Schwinn was just making bunches of parts. They didn't have time to think about, oh, let's make the threads a little longer because it's center pull. Like this fork definitely was center pull. And if you measure it up to that, you can probably tell. Oh, different frame size. But anyway, Schwinn made a whole bunch of stuff at once. And if they had to cut costs, you know, they weren't going to say, oh, let's make the fork longer so if someone wants to convert it later to center pull. No, you had to buy a Continental or a Paramount or, Superior or something decent. Continental, yeah. Okay, looks like with the washer, we've got enough threads even with this. With that goofy bracket gone, we'll just have to run side pull. And when I mean side pull, I mean something like this. This is the exact brake that was on there, and it's bent a little bit. And I don't know of any other way to do it except either machine the top of... We could machine the top of that. But that weakens it. You're taking some threads out, you know? Or you can machine the top of this. This would be the better piece to machine because there's more threads to machine off and it would still be strong. You could do that, but you know, I'm just not a big fan of machining bike parts on the lathe. It just burns up bits. Anyway, let's move on to the rear fender real quick. I don't think we're going to get it on, but at least we can take it out of its holder and kind of stick it up next to the bike and see what it looks like. We can get this wire off of here without damage. Yeah, this was up in my fender area, and I basically just forgot all about it. It was stored for quite a while. You can see all the dust on it. And it is for a girl's bike. And it is for the small back fender. So that is 74 and below. So that's probably from a 74 Chestnut bike. Because in 75, it was drilled for that. So there you have it. All right, let's just chuck this on the back real quick. And just kind of see how it's going to look. I think it's going to look great, actually. And we do have to drill the new hole, and we will measure that off the old fender, no problem. But for now, we can kind of just kind of do that in there. Well, we might have to have the actual bolt. Would be nice. Oh dear. Let me grab a bolt, or any bolt really. Give me a second. Give me a second. Alright, let's just kind of chop this on here real quick. See if there's some method to my madness. And these stays are in much better shape than that other fender. I don't think this fender had much of a life. Maybe a few years on a bike, but it looks pretty darn good. And we'll just kind of chuck this on for a second, so we can see what it looks like and just how awesome we are for finding this. We're pretty awesome. Okay, we're just kind of just stay there for a second, will you? And I think it's going to be pretty good. It's going to look much better than that other piece of junk. Yeah, I think we're good. Nice stays. That one has to be straightened a little bit, obviously. Nice gunmetal stays, nice original rivets. Pretty clean fender. It will have to be re-drilled. That's for a girl's bike or a very small boy's bike. And I don't think we really need that indentation. And what we'll do is we'll just place it next to this fender. First we'll drill that out. We'll drill this tab out and clean it. And we'll place it next to this fender. And we'll just make our mark. Wow, it's pretty close. Oh no, it's like an inch off. Yeah, it's like 1 inch off. Bummer. Huh, too bad that wouldn't. Yeah, it's so close. Anyway, we'll drill a new hole, whatever that exact measurement is, because that's for this bike. And you know, look, that's a nice clean fender, folks. Much better than that. Which one would you run? And plus, the bonus is you can run the cool reflector. You can get rid of this goofy leg breaker. Yeah, this is nice. Yeah, it kind of spruces up the back of the bike. Now what we'll have to do is we'll have to polish this one up a little bit, and you know, we'll try to we got to make that a little shinier. We'll do what we can. At least it's not completely hammered, but this brace has to be drilled out for sure. And we will take a brace off of one of those Sierra Brown sets up there. I did know I had those. I did not know I had the chestnut. Anyway, there's a nice front one with the nice bolts ready to go, and I have no qualms about breaking that up and breaking that fender stay off of there. I don't have an issue at all. Oh, and then the next thing we'll do when we get it as a runner, I have one of these plates, a better one even, and I just thought that would be neat to use a 1980 Suburban one, just because, you know, kind of looks better with the chestnut, you know. Hey, okay, that's as far as I can go today. We have a bunch of artwork to deliver, and tomorrow we are taking a bike ride, and I am riding a Suburban tomorrow. It won't be this one. I'm not going to work that late unless everybody chimes in and says they're coming over to help me. It won't be this Suburban. Probably this one, just because we haven't taken it out in a long time, and it's so sweet. And 2 years only, but this was 1972. December of 72. So why is it opaque blue? What happened? Were they sending it out to the dealer promo? Were they sending it out to get a fix on what the dealer's like? You know, hey, what do you think of this new color? It could happen. And yeah, we'll probably ditch that big goofy square reflector as well. I mean, actually, people actually pay for these because they're restoring their bike to the correct reflectors. But I can't stand these big square ones. I know they save lives, and thank you, Richard Nixon, for signing that into law. And it did save lives, but, you know, it was just so much better. Look at this back reflector here. I mean, come on. That's just a work of art. It spins on. If you back into something, it's probably going to not have the extra torque to bend the fender with this big, goofy plastic fender bender. Okay, hey, ever forward, keep it positive, folks. You get down, you get bummed out about the world, go out and work on your junk, you know. It's going to be okay. Yeah, don't feed the negative. Next video is going to be fun. We are going to put some cranks in and try to polish a front fender. Okay.